Hello, welcome back to Zekias and Wrestling, and I don't usually do reviews of the TV shows. I just sort of report on newsworthy things, and I've got to report on a newsworthy thing. WWE currently touring Europe. They're currently in Germany, and we had a live SmackDown tonight, and we have a brand new WWE Champion. I'm not going to call it Undisputed Champion. I don't know why they still do, but the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre. Very, very happy that they've done this. To be honest, I love a bit of Drew. I also like Cody. I'm very, very happy for Drew. It's so weird going into it without being such a smart ass or a smart fan or going like, this is what I would do. But I was like, they can't have Drew lose again, another WWE title match. And they were setting the stage and they were building up. But then I've been here before. I know the internet probably won't, but I'm going to give the booking team credit because they had me. Spoilers, if you haven't seen the match, it was fine. The 3 stages of hell, obviously, and when I looked at the clock and thought, 35 minutes for 3 stages of hell, God, that's going to be truncated and rushed. I don't think, actually, they used the time well. I don't think there was any point where I was like, oh, they're sprinting to the finish here. So credit to them for that. I think it was actually well paced, surprisingly. Not the most dramatic or sort of, ponderous 3 stages of hell match. Not the worst either. That would be the John Cena one from back in the day. But not as sort of visceral and vicious as the Triple H Shawn Michaels. But then probably was never going to be because it's on terrestrial TV. But look, here we go. Drew McIntyre wins after Jacob Fatu returns. I completely forgot that Jacob Fatu was taken out by Drew McIntyre. Allegedly, I don't think it was ever confirmed, but I think it was pretty highly intimated that it was Drew McIntyre who did it. Jacob Fatu comes out. I thought they were going to do the slam the cage in the door thing. They didn't do that. Again, they had me on that. He got in the ring, started beating up Drew McIntyre. Cody then pulls him from behind. He then punches Cody, and then they get into it. Drew crawls to the outside, winning the title in the most, whatever way possible, but it's very fitting for his character. He looked as surprised as anyone to have won the title, which is great. It's totally in character. I think it was the best decision and the best outcome, to be honest. Look, we'll go over the Cody Rhodes of it all in a second, but I think credit to Drew McIntyre. He has been, I don't want to say the MVP, but pretty damn close. He had feud, I was going to say last year. No, the feud of the year in 2024 with Punk. And he was equally as great in that feud as Punk was. Without a shadow of a doubt, Punk's best work since he's come back to WWE. I don't think we've had a blood feud like it for ages. I don't think we've had a blood feud like it since. And that's credit to Drew. I think he always... he's one of their top performers without a shadow of a doubt. I think this is long overdue. He's had too many title match losses. Like I said, they were building it up quite dramatically, and I'm glad they've paid it off. And I think the match was fine. Some dramatic bumps. The jumping off the guardrail and the table spot looked gnarly. I think Drew's head sort of ricocheted back, and some outside the ring fighting and brawling, and the match was fine. But the result is what matters. Drew McIntyre is the new WWE Champion, and that's great. It really does freshen up, I think, the main event scene on SmackDown. They've sort of alluded to it tonight with the announcement of a tournament of such next week on the SmackDown, from the UK, from London, England. They're going to have some sort of mini tournament to announce the number 1 contender. So we've got 4 one-on-one matches. I imagine more one-on-one matches, semi-finals after that, and a final. They love a tournament at the moment in WWE, which, there's nothing wrong with. It's just don't overdo it. But, a new number 1 contender for Drew, which opens up the field. We've the Cody Rhodes blocker. I don't think he's as bad as John Cena was back in the day, but certainly I think there is a Cody Rhodes. I mean, we've heard it before. Cody Island. We had it when he was in AEW. There is an element of that at the moment, and I think if we're going towards Roman versus Cody at Mania, I'm so grateful the title might not be involved. Please don't get the title involved again. Keep it on Drew. Have Drew do interesting things with it, with interesting feuds. Just have him do interesting things. and I think it's the right decision in my opinion. I'm very, very happy with the result, and really well booked in the final minute or minute and a half. I really liked the way they did it. They really swerved. Because I thought, oh no, Jacob Fatu's going to cost him the belt, and then the most boring finish possible is going to happen. But they actually surprised me. Right result. It actually gets me more hyped for the content coming. You know, the future shows, SmackDowns, the PLEs, with the belt not on Cody. Sorry, I don't hate Cody. Don't get me wrong. I actually like him. But this title reign has been pretty meh. He's been away from it for quite a bit of it. He won it at SummerSlam off John Cena, remember? When John Cena did that face turn just before the match. and yeah, the title reign was pretty meh. Did he fight anyone apart from Drew? I don't remember him defending the belt against anyone other than Drew. I could be totally wrong on that. I should have done research before I started this record, but there you go. But anyway, the fact is I can't remember, which means one of the two things. Either I'm old, which is true, but I think obviously if he did have a match, it wasn't memorable enough for me to make note of it, and therefore I can only remember Drew kicking him through. Oh, Obafemi. He had the match against Obafemi, which he won. Well, no, he didn't. It was a no contest, right? Because Drew interfered. I remember now. There you go. See, I'm not that old. So yeah, I think Cody would do well to stay away from the title for a bit. This is very much what they used to do with John Cena, which is keep him away from the belt for a little bit. Maybe he'll go for the US title. Who knows? But yeah, I think it's the right decision. Just have him. I don't want to say he's above the belt, but I think at this point the belt doesn't need him necessarily. I think building up more stars in that division, because they announced 8 people tonight. I mean, you know, 1 or 2 of them I don't really care too much about, but this does open the door. Spoiler prediction: my pick is Sami Zayn is probably going to face Drew at Mania for the belt. Now I think this does open the field for that very, very possibility, and yeah, I'm all for it. I'm here for that. I'm a big Sami fan. I don't know why he's engendering so many boos from the crowd. But I think he should have had a world title reign by now, and I think now's as good a time as any. And dare I say, I predict the Royal Rumble is probably the perfect place for him to win it. But I defended Jey Uso winning last year, so there you go. Let me know what you think. What do you think about this title change? What do you think about the opening of the field of it all? And what do you think about the show in general? I thought it was a good show from Germany, to be fair. It didn't really have many pauses. I thought it rattled along. Match quality wasn't that great. I thought it was a bit clunky in places, but it's an overseas tour. Who cares? Let me know what you think. Please leave a like, subscribe on the channel, and congratulations, Drew McIntyre, El Campeón.